Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 536 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob, Commander Taco Mulder, and I am joined today by two of the greatest geeks that you're ever going to pretend to meet, the amazing Sneezing Chris DeBona.
Jeez. Sorry.
And the totally silent Rob Roseboom.
Well, it's a good thing we can social distance in space.
Silent, but deadly.
That's right. Coronavirus does not survive the vacuum of space, even pretend
I hope
space.
I don't have coronavirus. That would suck, man.
Yeah, you got to get down.
Yeah.
Get out of the orbits. All right. Oh, that's you, Chris? Oh, so you used a fancy picture. That's a fancy picture. So, all right, Chris is sharing makemeazombie.com, which does exactly what you would think.
Mm-hmm. It makes you a zombie.
It makes you a zombie. I sent a picture of myself transformed as a zombie to my wife, and she immediately responds, unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. Well,
oh my gosh. Wow, they really did a good job on you.
Yeah, mine looks good.
Maybe because mine was black and white, it became more cartoony.
That's true. It greened it up. Tried to add some life. You know, green is the color of life.
An electric word, life that means forever, and that's a mighty long time.
Is there Halloween happening by you, Chris?
Nah. We're gonna throw a little thing at our house because my wife's birthday is near Halloween, so we're gonna do a get together with my quarantine pod. So yeah,
that's all right. I'm trying to figure out how to make my children understand that they're not going to get candy.
You just wing a Hershey's bar at them, as they come out.
Trunk or Treat is in full swing here in Grass Lake / Jackson.
Of course.
There's 3 different locations you can go to gather candy from trunks.
So you go up to strange men's cars and you take candy from them?
Nope. And not crawl into the trunk to get the best candy, even if they say that's where it is.
Because that is where it is.
Yeah.
I keep all of my best candy in my unmarked van.
Right.
Free candy.
Let's see. I'm getting a whole bunch of buzz off of my headphones now for some reason.
Are you sure it's not my ice maker?
No, it's not you today. It's me. All right. Let's see. So the what is it? Osiris Rex probe to land on an asteroid, take a sample, and bring it back to Earth, which is pretty cool because didn't the Japanese just do this?
Yeah, well, they just landed on.
Didn't they land on a comet?
No, they wanged a ship into a comet while having another ship film it and then put it on like one of their gladiator shows. It
was on Takashi's castle. But so the story, did you? Oh yeah, you posted. So the story earlier this week was that it actually retrieved the sample, and then the story today that I just put up on Taco Zone is that it's leaking. Although to be fair, it's only leaking like 10 milligrams. It's not like it dropped it.
And from what I read, the earlier story was the whole reason it was leaking. I don't know if that's the right word, but dropping the samples because it just took too much.
Yeah.
And the door couldn't close properly.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
So the guy in charge of the mission is Thomas Zurbuchen. He's one of your contemporaries. He lives like a half mile from you guys. He's in Michigan, or was. I mean, I'm sure he's somewhere else now, but yeah. Wow.
All right, let's go.
He's really smart.
Let's go pick at his house.
Like I've met smart people. This guy, I'll tell a story off air about how brilliant this guy is. But yeah, he's neat.
All right.
So
well,
if anyone can figure this out, it's this guy.
Well, if he's living in the area, we'll make sure to figure out a way to get a hold of him. I suppose we have connections all over the university, right? We can get access to this man.
Yeah, Clampy should go find him.
We for sure could.
That's right. And they don't do a very good job of like hiding, property ownership records and stuff. So if he's in the area, we could definitely track him down.
Well, I mean, he may have moved to DC.
I would assume if he's working at NASA.
Job, but wow, I haven't seen that name in 14 years. That's great.
Neat.
Right.
Yeah, good on
What
him.
a guy.
Yeah. So okay, there's actually been two casting rumor things happening that I don't think that we've talked about yet. But the one that I posted is that Michael Keaton is rumored to be signing on to play Batman again in an HBO Batman show, which I am 100% on board for because that is my Batman.
Is this like, I thought they were going to do like a Flash multiverse Flashpoint movie, and they were going to bring him and like Clooney and a bunch of others
Yeah.
back as like the Batman Dorama, you know? But this is not that.
But that leads me to the other similar rumor mill story, which is if you go to I think the IMDb for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are now announced as casting. Which 100% means we're going to see at least 3 Spider-Men in that movie.
Oh, you know they're putting Miles up there too. There's no way you put those guys up there without putting up a Miles.
Sure, but do you have to cast it with the same voice actor?
I don't know. Who is the voice actor for Miles Morales?
It doesn't really matter, right? Because you need a live action.
You need a dude.
You need a human, and I don't know what that kid. Like, I don't know if that kid can act.
You know, I'd love to see.
So would I. So would I.
They brought like Spider-Ham.
Oh.
You know.
Well, it'd be a lot easier if he was just always in costume, then, right?
Yeah.
Because then he wouldn't have to act. He would just do his voiceover work.
That's
like
true.
Usual.
He could just be CG.
Right.
I'd be all in on that. So anyway, that's. So I guess this Batman is not a multiverse Batman in theory. This is just
Well, it's Flashpoint.
No, not necessarily.
He's Batman Beyond, right? So he's the future Batman.
But then you do you canonically make him the Tim Burton Batman? I mean, I think you have to.
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's in the future.
Sure. Well, and I don't know. I love that. He's the right age.
And if he's Bruce Wayne, you know, and Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond is just an old dude with a cane who bitches and keeps track of the new Batman.
Really hates Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
And counts his, you know, his bad, you know, spinal discs, you know.
Right.
And complains about them. I'm old, and I'm old because of the Joker.
I'm a metaphor. Look at me.
I'm fine with that. I think Keaton is an underappreciated Batman, to tell you the truth.
He's a remarkable actor. You know, the Batman, he was okay.
I love him. That's my Batman.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to watch those older Batmans. Really hard.
Yeah, he was okay, but if you look at all the Batmans, I mean, he's for sure one of the better ones.
He's better than Adam West.
Which isn't saying a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
I think he's better than Val Kilmer.
Clooney was a horrible Batman.
Oh, he was awful.
Yep.
Yeah. Because what do? You take one of the best looking men in the history of time and you stick a mask on him. It doesn't make any sense.
For sure.
He needs to be like Two-Face. They should have made him Two-Face. Right? Because you just seen 2 different faces of George Clooney. And people have been like, oh, he's so good looking, even scarred and horrible.
There's been a lot of really weird casting rumors lately. Did you see Joe Manganiello is apparently being brought in to do the reshoots on the Snyder Cut, and he's going to play Deathstroke.
Wait.
Yeah.
Was there Deathstroke in the original Justice League movie?
Yeah, he's at the end of it. Yeah, they're getting on a sub or something like that at the end.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all in. But I mean, like the whole thing with the Snyder Cut is weird too, right? They're cutting it down to 4 episodes or 6 episodes. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be on HBO Max, right?
Sure.
So I don't know. I hate to say it. It was a terrible movie.
It was.
I don't know. I mean, unless you literally refilm it, redo it with a completely new script and probably new actors, I don't think you can recover it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what they have in the can, you know?
It wasn't very good, but it's the kind of thing that seems to me could have really benefited from what Marvel did. You know, they needed movies for all the characters, so you can get a flavor for all of them. You know, and using Steppenwolf is a bad guy is stupid. No, hardly anyone knows him. He's stupid as it is. I
He
understand
looks
why
stupid.
they're
He looks like
doing
an
it.
Xbox villain, you know?
Yeah, it's just bad.
Well, I think the thing that kind of resonates for me anyway is the problem with the Wonder Woman movie was always that the third act villain was stupid. And so you check out the World War I action sequence in Wonder Woman is fan freaking tastic. It's 20
Looks
of
really
the
good.
greatest minutes of comic book action sequence that has been done, where a character steps into, you know, the legend that we grow up with, you know, when we watch Super Friends in the 80s. But when you've got, I don't know, that like the
But part of
Steppenwolf
it
was this, was that.
Part of it for me is that the whole idea of you know, embracing Greek mythology for the superheroes never really landed for me. In the same way that embracing the Norse mythology sort of, even Norse mythology is a little bit hanky for me, to be honest with you, in
Sure.
Marvel. But at least it's a little
The
more,
West, you know?
yeah, it's a little bit more interesting than, you know, actually having Ares as a bad guy, you know. It's just, please.
Maybe that's just a Wonder
Please.
Woman thing. But again, for me, all of these things always come out to, I don't know, like George Lucas has said a bunch of horrible things, but one of the things that he says that I think is kind of right is that if the first 10 minutes of your movie and the last 10 minutes of your movie are like exciting, banging action, you're fine. Like most of what's in the middle, you know, is okay. And for the most part, I think that's what those Marvel movies do a pretty good job at. They give you a good opener, a good closer, and then there's a bunch of good character stuff in the middle. Oh, yeah, I know.
I just want to remind you where they're going in the third act of the next Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
No bueno. That's all I got to say.
I'd be there
Well,
opening
this
night
one-
if there was one.
This one, though, too, is another double villain one, right? Because Cheetah's in it, but also,
Taskmaster?
no,
No.
I think the character's named the Swan or something like that. I can't remember. She's a suit supervillain who fights Wonder Woman. I think she's called the Swan. Anyway, she's in this as well.
My DC knowledge is sorely lacking, but I do know that she will not encounter Taskmaster for very obvious reasons.
Or Wishmaker or Wishmat? I don't know. There's some wish thing. There's some grants. Wishes granted, monkey paw style.
Wasn't that in Doom Patrol? The Wish character that was in the Grant Morrison. I don't know if they used that on the TV show. Oh no, Alice has got the wish power, right? All right. Well,
Silver Swan.
Silver
Silver Swan is the name.
I don't know that one at all. Well, all right. I got another one, which is kind of just a weird one. And it's actually worth your time to read this one. It's Indiana Jones, Rambo, and the 80s Czech text adventures. And it's actually just a weird story about basically making a protest video game, you know, that kind of looks like Indiana Jones, but by connecting it to
the Velvet Revolution.
Yeah, like it's weird. It's a weird story, and it's worth a read.
The Adventures of Indiana Jones in Wenceslas Square in Prague on January 16th, 1989.
Thank you, Ralph. Very specific. But yeah, it's a weird story, right? They like kind of make a knockoff of this game that they like, and it's something that we've never really seen here because it was obviously not legal and something that totally exists on the other side of the Iron Curtain, which is pretty crazy.
It's weird that the Czechs would embrace Indiana Jones, though. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I think that Han Solo is universal, is what we're learning here. So.
Okay, so somebody put up a... Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to protest this Scoville scale story.
That's where we're going, so bring it on.
Scale is not scientific.
I agree.
It is completely subjective. I think I don't think there is a instrument that can measure hotness. You know, I mean, unless you completely disassemble the pepper. You know,
you can measure capsaicin, right? So
sure, but is it concentrated in the seed or is it concentrated in the skin?
Right.
You know, it's like I'm not anti-science, to be clear. I just think that people try to layer science on things that are inherently subjective. Like the way I perceive heat is going to be different than the way you two do. And it's like,
Well, while I agree with
Also,
you,
I'll say I've grown some jalapenos that are hotter than habaneros.
I believe it.
I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
So
well, you remember? Did you got some of Wolf's peppers, right?
yes.
I made a pot of chili, filling my entire Dutch oven with the meats and beans and tomatoes necessary for my ingredient, and one little tiny habanero, and I took every seed out. It was just the habanero skin, and I made that pot so hot that nobody would eat it. And I had like 10 people at my house eating chili.
Wow.
I had like half a bowl.
So, and at that point, all you're doing is ruining food.
For sure. For sure.
Who's digging into this going, oh, this is a great way to go for chili.
Yeah, let's hurt ourselves.
No.
Well, I didn't expect it to be that hot.
Did you add like whipped cream or something or
like
sour cream to help?
No, that's what I had to do in order to just be able to eat it. But it was a bummer because I think I made 2 batches of chili because we were having a chili party, and I made 2 batches, and then a couple of other people brought batches over, and nobody could eat the hottest chili, and it was identical. I made one chili with the hot pepper, and one chili with just regular jalapenos and
anchos,
serrano, I think.
Yeah, we did something similar where Lampy tried to make he was calling it 12 alarm chili, and it was so full of a habanero oil when it was done that you could just see it simmering, shimmering on the top, maybe a good half an inch of just heat. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, I can do this. Stirred it up, got myself a big old spoonful of habanero and some of that oil, and everything went black. It was like I had been maced. My nose started running. I was drooling. I couldn't see anything. I'm like, this chili is no good, my friend. I see what you're trying to do. Mission accomplished.
Yep.
It is the hottest chili. It's so hot you could never eat it.
It is chili that transports you through time and makes you meet your death.
So I've never been tear gassed, but I remember I was roasting off some, I was like jalapenos or serranos or something, and it actually started smoking, and literally it was like getting tear gassed. I'm like, oh, that's what tear gassing is like. Yeah. It's awful. And I'm actually, my right eye is super sensitive. I sound like an old man. My right eye, I've got problems with it. But like, so I make padrones, I make other things. I like hot food. I like Tabasco. I like Cholula, right? Cholula, which I know is not very hot. Thank you very much. But it's like, if I just do this, it's all over for me. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So I'm picturing Rob, Zen. I'm picturing you like looking at this thing. Well, I'm going to try that. And I'd be like looking at it, and I would probably get it in my eyes, like the smoke. And that would be it. I'd be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. I was for sure way overconfident. It was a mistake. I knew it was a mistake almost immediately,
I just put up on the Taco Zone the murder hornet story. Oh, let's talk about this giant Pac-Man. This is just, watch the videos.
This is super.
It's just fun to watch because the first one is them constructing it. It's totally just a commercial for the Caterpillar. Because they use their CAD. Yeah, they use their CAD program to program it in, and it just goes and digs for them. And it's kind of crazy. Wow. I never really thought about how automated this kind of construction is, but of course it is. But then the second video is just dudes playing with remote controls, playing Pac-Man life size.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a super good commercial, right?
Yeah.
I really like it when people nail stuff like this. Like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, good on them.
Haven't you always wanted one of these little like bobcats? I mean, I don't have the land for it or the job to do with it, but wow. I think cool.
So. One of the best things about running the bar up north was one of our good friends ran a gravel pit. And on weekends, sometimes I got to drive the backhoe, the bulldozer. It was like being a little kid, but with like real piles of rocks, and fantastic,
Yeah, there's a Las Vegas place that they basically let you go crazy with some skid steers and some excavators and stuff. Like, so did you have to like cover his tab and then you got to play with the loaders?
No.
It's up north.
We were just, yeah. Yeah,
They didn't pay anyway.
I mean, we went hunting and fishing a lot too, and he was like, one day he's like, "Hey, you want to drive the dump truck?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to drive the dump truck."
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
So we did that, and then he's like, "Hey, you want to drive bulldozer?" I'm like, yeah, I want to drive bulldozer. So yeah.
All right, so we got a bunch of random things in the channel we can talk about. We got the RIAA download story. We've got the ice cream machine app.
Ice cream machine.
Rob shared this
ice
one
cream
too.
machine
It's awesome.
It's interesting because
I'll put it up.
the McDonald's right next to my house, the shake machine is always
Oh,
broken.
that one. Yeah,
It's
that was
always
cool.
broken. Always. So I love that someone just made an app that would try to order from every McDonald's to see which ice cream machines were broken and which ones were working.
$18,752 worth of McSundaes every minute.
Yeah.
They're doing the Lord's work right there.
Well, so I admit I've never been super into McDonald's ice creams or McFlurries or whatever, but this is fantastic.
Yep.
And the down rate was like 10% or something. It seems crazy high to me.
14% in some regions. So
yeah, it's nutty.
Well, New York was in the 20s too. So
yeah, here we go.
Oh, Phoenix was in the 20s.
Man.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look in Michigan. Where's Michigan? It's over here.
So green is broken or green is
working.
Green is working. Okay. Okay, so there's one red one. Yeah, all right.
The one on Plymouth is broken.
The one near my house, both of the ones near my house are fine.
Yeah, looks like you guys are good. This is remarkable. I mean,
yeah, it's good on him.
Yeah, this is a great visual. Oh, wait, there's another broken one over here in North Canton.
Well, of course, that's you're getting to Detroit.
No, machine broken.
That's Plymouth. That's old Nate's old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
That's right. One over here in east of Wayne.
Yeah. See, that's
Dearborn.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah, Dearborn. Nothing worse than Dearborn.
Oh yeah, those guys. They don't know their ice cream.
They don't know they're asking for a hole in their head. Oh, Adrian, look down here, down south.
That's right.
Are you seeing? Am I broadcasting the right screen?
You're broadcasting. We're seeing
it. Yeah. So Adrian's broken. Let's see. Yeah. Once you get to
Detroit's actually not doing too bad.
You know, it's doing all right.
It is a little disturbing to me how many McDonald's there are. It's like every single mile marker is a McDonald's. It's disturbing.
Oh, we have tons. Oh, look at this, huh? Oh, we're doing all right. There's one in Milpitas that's busted. A couple in San Jose. Could do way worse.
You know, McDonald's social media. You should probably hire us to test ice cream. We'll go for free ice cream. We'll go to McDonald's and eat it.
I have to tell you, I bet you that the McDonald's people are like, "Whoa, we're getting a lot of hits from this one app. Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
I mean, credit to them for not shutting this guy down.
For sure.
Right? I mean, this is brilliant.
Because this guy reversed an API that.
Well, he specifically said it. Yeah, I reverse engineered their API for their ordering system.
Oops.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so we got Murder Hornets and the RIAA YouTube downloader. Those are the two main things we got left.
Did you link the Murder Hornets in the channel, or do I need to pull it?
It's in channel. I'll throw it up on the zone.
Well, you don't have to. It's just they had such cool outfits.
Well, they had the pictures. Yeah.
The outfits are fantastic, and I like that they're using red light as to not disturb them.
Chris, do a shift reload. I think it should be there.
Okay. Make me a zombie. You're a zombie.
There you go. And they used a vacuum to clean out the hive.
Look at these outfits.
Yeah.
Like I was saying in channel, the whole murder hornet thing is just weird because they're not like any more dangerous to people than just regular hornets. I mean, they'll kill honeybees, so I guess that's of concern, but they're just really big hornets that for some reason the media is like, haha, they're slightly bigger than a normal wasp.
Right.
Murder hornet.
Are they? So why are they wearing the crazy suits? Are they just like
because they're bigger
Cosplaying
and
Astroneer?
their stingers are longer, so they can go through clothing. So I assume normal beekeeper outfit probably isn't thick enough to make sure that they won't get stung.
Those are pretty big, dude.
But that's just conjecture.
Just conjecture.
Well, yeah, because it's all nice.
Yeah.
I like how the observers are like, yeah, whatever.
You're leaking
I don't need
audio,
the special
Chris.
suit. What's that?
You're leaking audio.
Oh, from the thing.
Yeah,
Here, I'll mute
it
this.
auto-played. The bane of the internet.
The coolest thing about the murder hornets is that they go and they chop the heads off of honeybees and then take over the hives.
Yeah.
But the honeybees have figured out that if they attach themselves to the hornets and vibrate really fast, they create enough heat that they cause the hornets to die from heat because their stingers aren't enough to kill them. So that's what they do. They just blanket the hornets and then shake until they kill the hornets of heat stroke, which is kind of cool. And I'm not sure it's a trick that North American honeybees have figured out yet. So.
Kind of amazing.
But again,
I thought
these are Astroneer cosplayers then.
See, I thought they looked like in Monsters Incorporated when they leak the sock on the little kid. They look like that. Huh? I put the code number into channel.
TDA.
There we go. 2319. We have a 2319. Which I actually, when I looked up what that code was, it turns out that 2319 is the letters in the alphabet for W and S, white sock. They had a 2319. There was a sock stuck on that kid.
That's great.
All right. The last one we had was the YouTube downloader, and that story is just getting weirder and weirder.
Oh, is it getting weirder?
Yeah. So now people are the backstory is there's been a script around for years that lets you download videos from YouTube.
The site we're currently streaming.
Yeah, right. This code has been around for like a decade. Like everybody knows that it exists. Yeah. The RIAA realizes that this is a tool that can be used for piracy, and they went to take it down off GitHub. They DMCA requested that it gets pulled down. In response, now I know you gentlemen are aware of this, and I imagine that Jake and Elon are aware, but I am not sure that anybody at the RIAA understands that the way Git works is that you create a mirror of that code that is then local to your computer that then you can do with as you see fit, which includes now it's been encrypted steganography style into images and uploaded to services. And this most recent one, somebody exploited a reported bug in GitHub to upload
around attachments.
Yeah, to actually upload it back to GitHub.
Yeah, they uploaded as an attachment to the DMCA page.
Yeah, that
they maintain at GitHub. So that's kind of funny.
It is.
So obviously I work for Google, which owns YouTube, so I should be a little careful. But what surprised me about this is it felt so much like it was 1999 again.
Yeah, it's DECSS again.
It really is, and we covered that so much. I mean, I testified in that trial. It was like, and it's just like, wow, it's the DMCA 1201C anti-circumvention provisions that we've been saying now for 20 years is like something that needs to get fixed because it's not really right. But I mean, and the RIAA is just going in the MPAA's footsteps and saying, well, it worked for them.
Yeah, it worked so good. There's no piracy left. They fixed it.
You nip that in the bud.
Problem solved. And the irony with that too is that with the rise, like we've hit an inflection point, I think, with video piracy. Like there was a time where like video piracy just stopped being worth the effort. But now with all of these friggin' streaming services, like it's gonna come back hard because like I don't want to install Blumper. Come on, man. Stop making me install. I literally am paying for at least 2 services to watch one show.
Yeah, it's so funny too, because so I watch a lot of YouTube. I love YouTube. I mean, I've talked about this, like all the DIY and the car YouTubers and all the rest. But like most of them now, because when they used to advertise VPN services, they used to say to protect yourself from scary hackers.
Now they
and
just say it.
They're like, hey, I like watching Netflix from the United Kingdom.
Right?
Like,
you need that British Bake Off 6 years ahead of time.
Well, no, so mark my words, NordVPN, all these other ones, they're all going to be sued.
Oh, for sure.
Like hardcore. And these ads are going to be like at the very front of the evidence. And they're going to lose in the United States.
For sure.
I hate to say it. The 1201C provisions is linking to circumvention devices like that. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, if they had just stuck to the security story, which frankly was pretty weak, but if they had stuck to the security story, they would have been fine. So you're going to see them saying, no. The scripts we provided said security. And everyone was talking about watching Netflix from the United Kingdom.
Right.
So.
That's like, I only subscribe to Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back briefly to the streaming services, the one that drives me nuts around here is that we have the HBO app, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On our Roku that we can watch. We can watch HBO on.
Is that HBO Max one?
No.
Now go?
No, it's just the HBO app. There's also the HBO Max app, which has almost all the same content, but like 4 premiere shows that they don't show on the HBO app. It drives me nuts. And we have the HBO Max for free on my wife's phone, but obviously we're not going to sit and watch, a show on my wife's phone.
You should be able to install the HBO Max app and use her like AT&T password.
You would think that's true.
Oh.
But it doesn't go through Roku doesn't have it yet. So we'd have to dig up the old Amazon Fire Stick or use the Google one, maybe, to get HBO Max then. I'm not sure if HBO Max works with those two, but it isn't offered of Roku.
You should get the Google TV Chromecast thing. It's like $50 and it's fine.
We have one.
Oh, you have the new one?
We have one, but I mean,
and it comes with Disney Plus Max, HBO Go.
2 perfectly good Roku sticks. I'm just saying, it's just too much. Come on.
For sure. Yeah. See, in my house, I have an Apple TV and a Google TV plugged into my TV in my living room, but the kids are not allowed to use the Google TV because that's got all my shows on it. And if they use it, then it's all like, why don't you watch more Phineas and Ferb? And it's like, I don't want to watch more Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Children, man, they ruin everything good. Yeah, this is DECSS.
So when y'all told me about the AT&T free HBO thing, I'm like, well, I'm gonna do that because I have AT&T fiber in this house, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited! I'm gonna get HBO for free because I've been paying whatever $12 a month or $14 a month for that damn thing. And so I tried to track down where I was paying for HBO. I couldn't find it. We have a recurring charge, but like I went to Google Play subscriptions, I went to Apple subscriptions, I went to 3 different HBO sites, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to cancel a credit card to end this thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's baffling, man.
It's
and I'm just like, I guess I'm paying for HBO forever. you know?
HBO is actually the worst for this too, because I can pay for HBO directly to HBO, to my cable provider, or to my cell phone provider. Like there are 3, and don't get me started on the fact that like I am currently paying for my YouTube subscription on an Apple credit card. So that, like, there's a lot of confusing things happening.
Justice to that? Sure.
It's confusing. Well, the reason is that I got a bunch of app credit, like store credit at the App Store. So I'm using gift cards to pay for my YouTube subscription.
Was it like refunds for Epic Mega Games?
Right. Or credit card points. It's almost like I figured out how to maximize all of these systems in a Jeff Batesian style way.
No, I'm sure Jeff would lose respect for me when he finds out that I'm just paying for HBO because I can't figure out how to cancel it. He'd be like, "That's disgusting."
It's cheaper than hiring a forensic accountant to figure out
It's really
where
true.
the money's coming
Right?
from.
I'm like, it's $14, so it's not like it's not money, but okay.
Well, and if you're
I
using it,
try to get $14 out of it.
if you're using it, I mean, 3 shows a month, that's a
Well-
VHS rental kind of thing.
And we watched The Undoing last night, and I'm still tense from watching that. It was like Big Little Lies. Like I'm like, oh, I see too much of this suburban angst stuff. I don't need
No
it from
shit.
TV shows.
No shit.
But yeah, The Undoing is it. They layer on the tension, and there's this whole like subplot about this high end school in New York City.
Too real.
And I'm just like, oh, too real. Because when Franny was going to the high end girls school here, it was like I would go to these meetings and these fundraisers, and I'm like, oh, I've been to this fundraiser. This is not good.
Do we want to talk about this vaccine?
Well, that's up to you guys. I just threw it up there.
Well, we're at the 36-minute mark. I have a friend who's in the vaccine trial or one of the vaccine trials right now, and I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Well, this one seems to have, if we're gonna actually have a vaccine next year, it'd be something like this.
Jesus, I don't even know how to think about this. We've got a new daily case record. You think we're going to hit 100,000 by the end of the week?
We might.
I think
it is sure really surging, man.
We might, because it's not only going back in big communities, it's started to spread in places where people haven't thought about it and they're not using any PPE. So it's really going like wildfire through there. So we might.
It's crazy. People have basically made this whole mask thing like a measure if you're a Trump supporter or not. I'm like, what are you doing? Protect other Trump supporters. You're being nutty.
Your demographic skews old. That's the people at the most. The one that scared me the most is there was a study that I saw that it looks like as many as half of the deaths reported have been in nursing homes. I mean,
well, that's one of the big things here, because one of the places we shifted a lot of these people were in nursing homes to handle the overflow. And that was one of the big reasons they wanted to kidnap our governor, because there's that whole thing that she sent those people to die in those nursing homes. That is the conspiracy theory.
Jeez.
So yeah.
What terrifies me a lot, and it took the financial crisis to get Obama elected. I mean, that never would have happened if not for the fact that we had just driven our economy into a wall. It was a pretty close election, and we needed that level of terrifying. It terrifies me just as much to think that this is what it's going to take to prevent Trump from maybe getting a second term. And I'm not even convinced of that yet.
And it's literally him killing his supporters.
Right.
It's like, dude, it's hitting mostly older people and people who are super out of shape.
I mean, he had it, right? I mean, he had it. Much of his staff had it.
It's like racing through the VP offices right now.
Yeah, Pence's
but they won't
people are all
they won't
coming
talk
down
about
with
it
now.
They have privacy.
They won't talk about it. They're like, oh no, it's really important that we respect their privacy. And
The
I'm
only
like,
one
but why?
The only one I've seen talk about it was Chris Christie, because he just got out of the hospital last week.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Whoa, yeah, we should all wear masks from now on."
Yeah, this sucked.
Let's talk about the Chris Christie thing. So there's a thing that happens. So everyone's like, listen, Trump's not going to win. We have to recover our reputations before the end of this damn presidency.
Rats,
so you have
jumping off the boat.
cynical rats like Christie saying, listen, I was so wrong about masks and the coronavirus. You can still like me because the second that guy's out of office, I'm boned. You know,
It doesn't matter because we live in a universe where that's how it works. Everybody's going to be like, yep, that's fine. You were only doing the best you could with the cards you were dealt.
Yeah.
And we're going to just all forget
Yeah, I was
6
the
months from now.
resistance inside the Trump
Yep, we're going to all forget 6 months from now. Well,
I'm not.
when Trump is in the middle of his second term. Folks, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, Chris.
Yeah, to
Goodbye,
a lot of
Chris.
these people in the red zone.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
And
Yeah,
this has been episode
Oh,
536 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda saying double goodbye to Rob.